The Drew McIntyre news seems to be getting worse. As we know from the last couple of weeks, WWE and Drew McIntyre cannot come to an agreement for a new deal. Well, the situation is not getting better. Drew McIntyre has completely blacked out his Twitter account. He's also deleted his bio and any reference to WWE, excluding his handle. This begs the question, is this the end for Drew McIntyre? If so, that would be a huge loss for WWE. If not that, he could just be upset right now, and as we know, our emotions fluctuate, things can get better. I'm hoping that is the case. Who knows though, this could also be Drew McIntyre leaning into the news to create headlines and work on a new storyline or character. We've seen that happen before with the past, especially with Bayley just a couple weeks ago. We're gonna have to wait and see, but right now, it's not looking so hot. Let's move away from the bad news and talk about some good news for LA Knight. Even though he lost last night, which pissed off many fans, as you can see from this like to dislike ratio on WWE's YouTube video of the match between him and Xavier Woods, there might be some light at the end of the tunnel. According to Work Wrestling, LA Knight has been discussed internally as a leading candidate to win this year's Money in the Bank match, and that is great news. This is what most fans want to see, and it would make sense to give the fans what they want. I can't think of a better person to win the briefcase for 2023 outside of maybe Finn Balor, but even with that, I think LA Knight would be the better choice because he'd be more entertaining with that briefcase. He's got the promo skills and the charisma that not many people can match. Adding the contract to him will make him even cockier, which would be funny. It would work really well with this character, and hopefully it'll lead to a WWE Championship run. However, with Roman Reigns as the undisputed champion, it's possible that we might get a whack mid-card title cash-in like Austin Theory last year, but that would be horrible. I expect Roman Reigns to walk into WrestleMania 40 as the WWE Undisputed Champion. LA Knight should hold it until then or after then. A storyline where the clock is ticking could be fun, and nobody could pull that off better than LA Knight himself. I'd rather wait a year for him to become the champion than a cash-in for the IC or US title. Let's book it. While many people assume that Roman Reigns was heading to Hollywood because of his star power in wrestling right now and the connections to the industry, aka The Rock, there might be someone else who's ready to go all in on Hollywood, and his name is Cody Rhodes. I guess this is his way of getting back at Roman Reigns by accomplishing Roman's dreams of succeeding over there. According to Fightful Select, Cody Rhodes has had meetings regarding potential acting roles, including a potential Zelda movie role and a Mortal Kombat movie role. Within the recent success of the Mario movie, I can see Zelda being a box office film as well. Cody Rhodes appearing in it would be huge for his career. As for the Mortal Kombat movie, the first movie was released in 2021, and while it only made $84 million, it was also released at the end of the pandemic lockdown. To make $84 million during a time where not too many people were going out is a good number, and I think it'll do even bigger numbers with the second movie coming out. And like I said with Zelda, this would also be huge for Cody Rhodes if he lands this movie. However, it would not be too great for us wrestling fans, because that would mean that Cody would most likely have to take a break from wrestling for a month or two, maybe even more, in order to shoot for those films. We gotta wait and see, but if he does get it, I think that's impressive stuff for the American Nightmare, and I would be proud and happy for the guy. WWE officially canceled the King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view that was scheduled to take place in Saudi Arabia. The pay-per-view name was changed to Night of Champions, and that event is making its return. PW Insider reported that the change was simply due to creative change and that WWE wanted to revive the premium live event. I'm not sure if I'm buying that though. Nobody in their right minds has ever said, gosh damn it, I want to see the Night of Champions pay-per-view come back. I'd say that most fans would much rather see a King of the Ring revival over Night of Champions. With that being said, this could have been done because Roman Reigns is hitting the 1,000 day mark as the champion on that very day. To emphasize a Day of Champions when your main champion is going to be hitting that milestone makes more sense. Regardless, the show should still be good. I still do hope that King and Queen of the Ring can still have a pay-per-view date later this year because I want to see the return of that. I've always loved King of the Ring when I was little. Ever since betraying his father and joining the Judgment Day, Dominik Mysterio has been a serious star for WWE, and I'm not even kidding. Some didn't even know if he had it in him, and fans weren't the only ones thinking this. Wrestling Observer Newsletter reported that before the father versus son storyline, Triple H and WWE strongly considered moving Dominik to NXT. While that's how he should have probably started his career in 2020, it's a good thing that WWE did not do that and they took a risk on the storyline and put him in the Judgment Day. He's been shining ever since, especially as of late. Dominik Mysterio found charisma somehow and has been getting some of the best crowd reactions over the last few months. Dom is going to be a star for this company for the next decade. I think he's got the it factor for sure. And finally, let's talk about SmackDown. The show kicked off with a promo battle between Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and the Bloodline. This was nothing too special. It was your standard promo. There are some people on the internet who don't like how this feud is still going on, but the crowds are still eating it up. I think it's going to end either at Backlash or at the SmackDown when these two are wrestling for the titles. WWE probably just wants the Usos to lose one more time before Roman Reigns starts to mentally destroy his cousins. The promo ended with a brawl before Matt Riddle came out for the save, setting up the main event for SmackDown, which was Matt Riddle versus Solo Sikoa. Xavier Woods and LA Knight wrestled in a good match. However, the outcome isn't what fans wanted to see. LA Knight should be treated like a star, but he's done nothing other than suffer many losses on SmackDown since Triple H took over. This win was given to Xavier Woods to set up an IC title match with Gunther, so I understand the purpose of this. And while that is going to be a good match, and I think that Xavier Woods does deserve that, did this really have to happen over LA Knight? Like, you could have honestly put anyone else in that position to just lose to Xavier Woods to give him some momentum for that match with Gunther. That's what I think. Anyways, Damian Priest and Santos Escobar wrestled in another good match for the night. Like I said, this SmackDown featured really good wrestling, and I want to say that the LWO is getting over with the crowd, and you love to see it. The Judgment Day have been such good heels that I honestly think they put over a lot of their opponents to the point where the crowd loves to cheer for anybody against the Judgment Day, and that's when you know you're a damn good heel. And then you add the fact that WWE is using Rey Mysterio to also put over this group, and you can see that it is working. Damian Priest won with some cheating, and Rey Mysterio showed up to beat up his kid some more to a thunderous pop. The crowd cannot get enough of this feud. They love seeing Rey Mysterio beat up his kid. It should probably end after Backlash because honestly, you can't drag it out too much, but you never know, you know? You can always come back to it later down the line. Shinsuke Nakamura returned with an interesting attire. He's got to get back to his 2016 attires because I don't know what he was wearing on this SmackDown, but he did make quick work of Madcap Moss. Karrion Kross is his next opponent, and I really hope that this feud will be the one that turns his career around. I know a lot of people like to shit on the guy, but I think he's pretty decent. I think he's a good hand to have. He just hasn't been given the right storylines. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it is him, but hopefully this changes things for his career. The Women's Tag Team Championship promo was just not good. I don't even know if I want to talk about it. It was just wacky. Paul Heyman got the Usos a rematch for the tag belts on SmackDown, and I love how he said the Tribal Chief is losing patience with the two of you while pointing at Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but looking in the souls of the Usos. This is storytelling at its finest. This is storytelling 101. Solo Sikoa won the match and then literally buried Matt Riddle. I love how they were acting like he died from the announcer's table. That was just a funny way to end SmackDown. Anyways, SmackDown had some great wrestling tonight, but it did feel a little repetitive. I give this episode a solid 6.5, maybe a 7 out of 10. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.